The Terrible Old Man. It was the plan of Angelo Ricci, Joe Zanuck, and Manuel Silva to rob the Terrible Old Man. They had heard stories of his wealth. Spanish gold and silver hoarded in his decrepit house on Water Street. He was ancient, feeble, and alone, making him an easy target for men like them. The whispers of Kingsport's villagers, however, told darker tales. The old man was no ordinary recluse. He was said to talk to bottles in his home, each containing a lead pendulum suspended on a string. The bottles had names: Jack, Scarface, Long Tom, and their pendulums would sway in response when he spoke to them. Few dared spy on him more than once. But Ricci, Zanuck, and Silva were outsiders, unbothered by local superstitions. They planned meticulously. Ricci and Silva would confront the old man directly, while Zanuck waited in a getaway car behind the house. On the night of April 11th, Ricci and Silva arrived at the Terrible Old Man's front door. Moonlight bathed the gnarled trees and painted stones in his yard, casting eerie shadows. They dismissed the unease creeping over them and focused on the task at hand. Through the window, they saw the old man muttering to his bottles. Masks on, they knocked on his door. Zanuck, waiting in the car, grew uneasy. He hated the piercing screams he heard from the house, proof that his colleagues were using force to extract the location of the treasure. Time dragged. He checked his watch repeatedly, fidgeting in the driver's seat. Finally, he heard slow, deliberate footsteps from beyond the gate. The heavy wooden gate creaked open. In the dim light of the street lamp, Zanuck strained to see. It wasn't Ricci or Silva who appeared, but the Terrible Old Man himself, leaning on his knotted cane. He smiled, a hideous and unnatural grin. For the first time, Zanuck noticed his eyes, yellow and glowing faintly in the dark. What happened next was never known. Kingsport buzzed with rumors in the weeks that followed. 3 mutilated bodies washed ashore, slashed and battered as though by many blades and booted feet. An abandoned motorcar was found on Ship Street, and strange cries were reported that night by sleepless villagers. The Terrible Old Man remained silent through it all. He had no interest in gossip. After all, a man as old as he, with memories of far more dreadful things, had no reason to concern himself with the fates of 3 foolish intruders.